Sunday Papers Podcast with Fitzsimmons and Michael Gibbons. The next thing you know, another week has passed, and it's Fitzsimmons and Michael Gibbons again.
Read all about it!
Oh, gee.
Read all about it! We got you.
I can't.
All national news today, coming from Raleigh, North Carolina, and somewhere in Florida. Read all about it.
That's it? Wow. All right, you woke me up. I'm a red eye with a connection, and you still woke me up.
Mike flew from Los Angeles to, where'd you fly into? West Palm Beach?
Yes. Well, yeah, that airport's called PBI, Palm Beach International. Even they don't like putting the West on their name.
And was there, in fact, did they do your hair? Was there a hairdresser on the flight?
No, so it's a little humid here.
Uh-huh.
And the hair has grown 3 sizes today, I'd say. Also on the flight, I had 2 masks and an eye mask. I felt like I was like in some motorcycle race across the desert.
Right. Did you have a hat on?
What's that?
Did you have a hat or a hood on?
I didn't do the hat or hood. I should have brought a hoodie. Hoodies are a good call for a red eye.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I didn't do that. I did bring earplugs, but I didn't need them.
You didn't listen to anything?
No, I left at 11 p.m. I went into the airport. I got a double vodka soda, and then I learned my mistake. Though I waited till the flight was like I was walking onto it, even though some people say that's still a rookie move. And I popped the Ambien on a full belly of alcohol as I was walking on the plane. So I was out when we were on the ascent.
You didn't want to repeat that story where you took an Ambien early and then the flight was delayed and then you missed the flight?
No, it was more stupid than that. It was with Brody and Zach and everybody. We were going to New York. I got as many red eyes as I could for the budget we had. Anyway, they were all on another plane. I was on a plane and it worked out. My red eye was going to land an hour earlier in JFK. I was going to get the car, meet them. So I'm dropping these, it's Brody and Gibbons, I think, a bunch of people. Anyway, I'm like, all right, I'm meeting you at Terminal 8, JFK. I'll be outside with the car, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all worried about them. I go in, I'm like, I got to sleep, man. We're hitting the ground running. We're shooting. Galifianakis was hosting SNL. And so we were meeting him there that day, all that shit. So I go into whatever that seafood place is in LAX and that chain, and I get a vodka soda and I take Ambien there. And I have to wait I'm like 45 minutes early or whatever it is. So I'm waiting and I'm looking at stuff on my phone. And it literally happened like this. All of a sudden I look at the clock on my phone and I'm like, wait, did they board? And then I look at my vodka soda and it's gone. Like someone drank it while I wasn't looking. I run out to the end. It was Virgin. I remember this. It was Virgin Airlines. I run out to the end. I run towards the gate and I see them closing the door. And little dramatically, ka-ching. And I just stand there and I turn around and they're like, "Are you Mike Gibbons?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "We've been calling your name for 20 minutes. And I'm like, "Is that?" I go, "But that's the plane right there. I can still see it." And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I go, and then I thought for a second. I'm like, "Just be polite and maybe you'll get your way." And I go, "Is there anything I can say to make you, that will open that door so I can walk on my plane?" And they were like, "Thank you so much for asking that way." No, there's nothing anyone can say at this point. When that door is closed, it's closed. That's just FAA.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and that's the sedation of this Ambien. I just was like, can you guys find me a hotel room nearby? And what's the next flight? And they're like, "Next flight's at 6 a.m. And yeah, we'll help you get a hotel." And I think they've seen this before and they took care of me. Meanwhile, those guys land. There's no rent-a-car. They have to get to New York on their own.
And not a bunch of guys well equipped to thinking on their feet. Dennis Gibbons probably had 1,000 milligrams of gummies. Brody is probably distracted by 9 other things.
Yep. I think Joe Wagner was also part of that. I love Joe. But yeah, it was very interesting. We were filming that Brody documentary we did, which wound up on Comedy Central. Anyway, this Ambien worked out, but I did have to connect, which is a shitty story because there's no direct flight here in Atlanta. But I just wanted to go to Georgia because, they have such good news this week out of Georgia.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, doing some shows, thanks to the people that came. A lot of people came out, a lot of listeners. The shows have been packed as they can be. They keep it at 50%, but they've been filling up. And
Delta keeps it still very reduced, and I think they deserve bragging rights. My sister, who's here, flew out JetBlue, packed.
Yeah, Delta keeps the middle seats open. It's fantastic until the end of the month, and then they're gonna do it again. But
hey, did you hear? We're not talking about this in the news. I read a headline. Of course, headlines are trying to grab attention and all that, but boy, did it. That kind of officially now, Europe is worried that the third wave might be worse than the other two.
Oh, yeah. No, and Fauci has warned us about it. As we are relaxing all the protocols, which there comes a time, numbers are way down. It's time to let people out a little bit. But it could dovetail into, us being more loose as this new strain hits us hard. Brazil is out of control. Out of control.
Yeah. No, it's bad. I heard. It's terrible. God, I can't. Another wave. Holy shit.
Well, if it happens, maybe we should just go to Bert Kreischer's house. There's plenty of room. We can each have a separate wing of the house.
Yeah, we can camp in that construction site backyard.
Yeah, we just went there. We did his podcast. Mike and I had never done somebody else's podcast together before, and I thought it went pretty well.
I think so, too. Boy, it was long.
2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I only knew it was that long because by the end, I think my jaw was open, and I was sort of like having a hard time focusing anymore. Yeah. Which is why it was so great to have you there, because normally, like, if it's I do Rogan's, which is 3 hours.
I can't imagine.
And it's one-on-one, so you can't really break eye contact for 3 hours straight. It's very intense.
Yeah. I know. Well, and this is, I wonder how uncharted is Rogan's, because this one was a free-for-all. I mean, Bert didn't even have an index card, it was just a legit conversation that meandered, organically.
No, that's exactly what Rogan's is. Exactly the same. Yeah. There's a video element to Rogan's where, his producer, Jamie, will pull up images and videos as you're going.
Yeah, I get
that,
right.
That. But, no, so it was good. So our song this week, we want to give. By the way, this is, in fact, Mike, our 1 year anniversary. It was.
Dodge.
Yes, it was April 1st, I believe, of last year that we did around April 1st of last year that we did our very first podcast. We did a couple practice ones on the FitzDog Radio site, and then this is the when we started Sunday Paper site. This is it. So, congratulations to you and me.
Oh,
and Chris
we're going to do it. We're going to do it through the fourth wave of this virus.
Yep. We'll be with you until there's not that many people listening, and it won't because our ratings are down. We want to, and this is going to be a short one because, as we said, we're in different places. Mike's in Florida to help go through his stepmom stuff with his father. His sister's there, so we don't want to cut into your time too much.
Sister's here. No, please cut into that. And stepsister, they're right outside that door. They'll probably barge in here because she has a closet in here too that's right here. But it's a very Florida situation, except the AC is not working that hot.
No.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be getting redder and sweating as this goes on. Yeah, no, and I have like this computer is on two pillows, which is on like a little luggage stand, or like it's happening. It's really
mine
happening.
Mine is set up on a suitcase on a table. This room, check out this room. My hotel room is through that door, and then the hotel gave me this suite.
Oh my God!
It's just like sometimes on the penthouse floor they have like a lounge Well, since
Yeah.
the lounge is closed because of COVID, they just like opened up my door, which connects to it. I've got this huge fucking suite.
Look at you.
Yeah, so I'm living large.
When are you there until tomorrow?
I leave tomorrow morning, back in LA by 11 a.m., at the
Wow.
beach by noon. It's going to be 78 degrees.
Oh my God.
When do you
hope
go
all-
back?
I hope all that goes well. Is there a direct flight?
Direct flight, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
On US Scare? What do you fly?
No, baby, Delta. Middle seat open.
Nice.
I take a little 2.5 milligram pot mint, and then I got my neck pillow. I've got my eye mask. I've got my mask for my face. I've got my hoodie, and I've got Bose noise-canceling speakers. I call it a mini suicide.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, thank God that small dose won't get you too paranoid because you have every reason to be paranoid. Oh, is he looking at me? Listen, I'll tell you right now, the answer is yes. Is everyone looking at me as I come down the aisle?
Do they think this could be a hostage situation?
By the way, I don't know if any comedian's ever done this bit, but it's so true. I once sat on a plane, and for some reason I was incredibly present, and I was just checking out everybody walking in. And this woman walked in the aisle and was making her way down, looks at her ticket, looks at the seat number, walks another few steps, right? And this is nothing, nothing unusual. Looks at her ticket number again, looks at the seat number. Dude, she did it 4 times and walked over 20 seats and past me. And I'm like, what is she thinking? Like, is she like, you never know. They might just go out of order. The numbers may not be sequential. It might be like a little April Fool's thing. So
right.
Let's see. I'm row 31. Let's see. 8. Okay. Let me go up 4. What is this row? Oh, this is 12. Okay. And she did that 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
I know. And then she's got to swim upstream against everybody else that's coming up now and holds up the whole fucking line. I had a woman on my flight out here who immediately and I try not to talk to people on planes because you just...
No, you got your hoodie, your headphones, your neck brace, you're baked.
And I hold up the finger.
Yeah.
And this woman starts right in on, I can't believe we have to wear these masks. These things are as harmful. It's as harmful to wear these with breathing in your own air. And I ignored her till she shut up, till she would realize she was talking to a wall. But part of me wanted to go, yeah, and you know what? This whole thing about the round earth, it's such a fucking conspiracy. But it's the fucking liberal elite media.
Can I have 2 of your unused masks to jam in my ears? Do you, miss? Because they definitely work that way.
Yeah. All right, we want to give a shout out to Emmett Hall, who did the song this week. What'd you think of the song this week?
I was very Reggie Watts sounding. I liked it.
Yeah, it had a nice groove to it. Also, the logo from our friend Melody Myers from Phoenix.
Look at that.
She's fantastic. She does good work.
I like that
She actually
a
does
lot.
it for a living. She makes graphics for a living.
Wow, she sells these Sunday Papers artworks for a living. She must be living high.
Should we make a T-shirt, by the way?
I don't know.
I mean,
Like-
it wouldn't be hard to do. We just have to pick our favorite logo that's come in over the weeks. And then
I thought you were going to say, it's not hard to do. We just have to pick our favorite podcast, maybe Rogan's, maybe Segura's, and then print up the T-shirts and sell them.
Chris Denman, our producer, just said, we can make shirts. You should have each logo in the online store. I don't know what that means.
All right. Available.
Corrections from last week. Ready for this? None. We didn't get anything wrong.
That means we had no listeners.
That's right. Tour dates coming up. I'll be in Philadelphia at Helium Comedy Club April 22nd to the 24th. Also coming to Kansas City. Had to change this date. I'm now going to Kansas City April 29th through May 1st. Tickets for all
right.
dates available at fitzdog.com. Oh,
I can
shit.
already see next week's correction is you had corrections last week.
By the way, I just realized I don't have a newspaper. Do you?
Oh, no. Either do I.
Shit.
Wait, I can... Hold on. There's a little wrapper that the microphone came in. You want me to do that?
Let's see if it
I can
makes
get
any
paper.
noise.
I can get paper.
Go
Hold
get
on.
paper. I'll talk for a minute.
All right, go ahead.
So I had some fun shows. We're recording this on Saturday. I came in Thursday.
Save it. I got paper.
Oh, there we go. I almost got to the point where I talked about my standing ovation on the Late Show Friday last night.
Come on.
Yeah, I got off stage. I was walking. I was just so fucking happy to be doing stand-up. And this is such a great club. And I was walking through the crowd, just stopping at each table, just riffing with people. And I was out in the audience for like 20 minutes. And I think people really kind of dug that. And
nice.
And there was a heckler who was just a drunken asshole lady. And sometimes you have to make a human sacrifice on the Friday Night Late Show, because if you let one person talk, it's going to be a free-for-all. So
right.
I fucking traumatized this woman to the point where she just kept a permanent scowl on her face and stared at me for the rest of the show. And she was sitting to the side of the stage so the whole crowd could see her scowling. And I would just look at her and smile. And sometimes I'd look at her scowling and I would laugh. It was fucking beautiful.
She was the mask woman from the plane who came to your show.
All right, Mike, let's hit the front page.
Extra! Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
Oh, here we go. These
That's
are not really
not
newspaper
really good.
sounds.
In
What
Georgia,
do we got? Oh.
Republicans in Georgia passed sweeping elections bill that voting rights activists say is a bald-faced attempt at voter suppression. The new law imposes new voter ID requirements for absentee ballots, empowers state officials to take over local election boards, limits the use of ballot drop boxes, and makes it a crime for voters in line to give them food and water. The law is seen as a win for former President Trump and his allies, who falsely claimed widespread voter fraud during the 2020 election. Trump himself pressured Georgia leaders to overturn Joe Biden's victory in the state. Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing, everybody. It has officially turned into the Republicans. No, they lost half the voters, more than half the voters. And instead of going, let's have a meeting and discuss how we can court these people that we seem to have lost, they said, no, instead, let's go back to Jim Crow voter suppression laws. Let's attack the solution that way.
Yep. Now, you know that newsletter we occasionally read by that historian, she said she gave credit to Will Bunch of the Philadelphia Inquirer. He pointed out that Kemp, that photo op where they were signing the bill, he sat at a polished table with 6 white men around him under a painting of the Callaway plantation on which more than 100 black people had been enslaved.
Wow.
As the men bore witness to the signing, Representative Park Cannon, a black female lawmaker, was arrested and dragged away from the governor's office.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, folks. There were 60 different investigations about voter fraud. They all came up zero. There was literally almost no voter fraud whatsoever. Get over it and start working for your constituents and stop trying to stop fucking democracy.
Just sore losers. And the right loves to point out sore losers and all that stuff. Like they're like the tougher, the tougher sort of group. So tough that they can't put a mask on their face. Anywho, I love that you can't give water to people standing online. I think
one
95-page document. That's one of them in there. You can't bring food or water.
I think they should also stop Trump supporters. You can't give them any Kool-Aid while they're waiting online.
There you go.
There we go. There's the joke. All right, let's get out of politics, Mike.
Oh,
Nobody
here we
likes
go.
politics.
Oh, we're in the same front section. No newspaper. Go ahead.
Okay. The Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, has joined Silicon Valley startup BetterUp as its chief impact officer. BetterUp provides coaching and mental. I think they designed a new job. They just want this fucking guy on their roster. They do coaching and mental health services. Their website lists Harry as part of its leadership team, describing him as a, quote, humanitarian, military veteran, mental wellness advocate, and environmentalist.
All right.
They
You know what
declined
word's not in his description of his skills? Loyalty.
Right.
Yeah,
He's gonna
you're not
sell
going to
you
find that
fuckers
under
out.
description of Harry.
And I hope this company is okay with him being married to somebody of color, because his last job, he ran into some issues with that.
Well, we'll just wait till they ask him what color he thinks his third baby's going to be. He doesn't take kindly to that.
Also, I mean, you hire a guy from the royal family. Going to be a little awkward when his boss has to address him as Your Highness. Your Highness, can you grab me some coffee?
Yeah. Your Highness, I said I liked it pretty light. This is a little dark. Is this going to be an issue? Because I saw how you handled your family.
Yeah. This coffee, let's just say, how do I want it? You know your baby's skin? Picture that tone. Light and sweet. Your Highness,
Well,
Your Highness,
he's got a job.
You parked
Good
in my
for him.
parking spot, Your Highness.
Good for him. They were saying it's tough out there for white guys, but not this white guy. He
Nope.
got one.
Nope.
I like it.
This is a story about a steer that escaped from a slaughterhouse in February and was captured after wandering a Rhode Island town for nearly 2 months. Johnston, Rhode Island, which I've done shows in, Police Chief Joseph Raza said the steer, which had been periodically seen in Johnson since escaping the Rhode Island beef and veal slaughterhouse, was captured early Friday morning. Raza said Legend Lewis, the Connecticut farmer who owns the steer, wrangled the bovine. He said the owners of a New Jersey animal sanctuary have expressed an interest in giving the steer a new permanent home. Yeah, on their kitchen table and in their bellies.
Meanwhile, the cow was just out there trying to tell everybody, like, listen, guys, forget about me. You got to see what's going on with the veal. Like, forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't even move.
And now that he's escaped, it's just and been rescued into a beautiful life in New Jersey. It's a matter of time until they're all fucking. There's going to be an underground railroad for cows in Rhode Island.
Also, this is making Rhode Island sound like it's Nebraska with like the next fence is a mile.
Yeah.
Rhode Island's like, just nothing but highways like crazy.
Yeah.
Also, how long was he loose? 2 months?
2 months.
He must have done all of Connecticut and Massachusetts. 2 months, there's not enough land in Rhode Island to wander.
How did he eat? I mean, this was in the winter. There can't be much grass and hay for a wandering cow. I think people were aiding and abetting him.
He probably loaded up on veal, I'm guessing, and then
Right.
it's a sad story.
This one is a happy story.
Oh,
It comes out of a Maryland bomb squad. They were summoned to a home to safely dispose of a Civil War era cannonball discovered with its fusing mechanism still intact.
oh man.
They came to a home in Jefferson where a resident reported they had been given the cannonball by a relative who found it near the Monconkey battlefield in Frederick County. They said it was the fusing mechanism was intact and it could potentially still be dangerous.
I think a lot of the insurrectionists packed those. That was their Civil War flags, Civil War artillery. I
Right.
think it fell in, perfectly.
And that's who I think they should use one of those Confederate Army reenactor groups. They should have to defuse the bomb using only tools that were available in the 19th century. Let's get a crowd
great.
together for that.
Yeah, I'd watch big time.
I didn't realize cannonballs had, this is going to sound stupid, I didn't realize that they had gunpowder in them. I thought that they were just steel balls that got shot.
I think some of them are, but you're right. I didn't think about that either. I remember, like, in school, we went down to, like, Williamsburg, and it was like, they're all, I mean, what a job that is. They're all dressed up like, churning butter and shit. And anyway, they told us, like, if you tried to, like, stop a rolling cannonball with your foot, it would take your, like, the bottom half of your leg right off.
Really?
which none of us believed. But anyway, it was told to us, yeah.
The amazing thing is, I read. Did you ever read 1776? It's about Washington and the basically
No.
tracks most of the Civil War.
Okay.
But they used to fucking lug cannons from like Old Forge, New York, across a bridge on the Hudson River and into Massachusetts. Now, there's no paved road. You're taking a fucking cannon with wooden wheels through the woods in the ice on a fucking 2-month journey to get it to a battle. Are you shitting me?
I mean, I wonder how effective cannons were. It's one ball,
Yeah.
and maybe it explodes. Is that what we just learned today?
I guess if you aim it right, you can rip through 2 or 3 guys, maybe a couple girls.
Well, I think it would be to take out, like, shelters or maybe other cannons. I don't know. We're so dumb. But meanwhile, all the cartoons did have that fuse. Remember, the cannonball would be lit? So what are we
Right.
talking about? Of course
Yeah.
they explode.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Those are the Acme cannonballs.
Right. There was a leaked memo. You want to read this story, Mike?
Yeah, I saw this. It's speaking of our wordplay last week. It's some nice wordplay here that you don't know till you get to the end of the headline. Leaked memo shows Amazon knows leaked memo shows Amazon knows delivery drivers resort to urinating in bottles. Amazon caused an uproar on Thursday when it denied reports that its delivery workers had been forced to urinate in bottles due to a lack of access to bathrooms. But a leaked internal memo shows the company has been aware of the problem for at least several months. Now, here was the statement, okay? Because all we're thinking about is peeing in bottles, right? I mean, the go-to bottle when I used to do road trips was Snapple. I'm not bragging, but you know what is amazing is, were you ever shocked at how fast you could fill a 12-ounce? Like, let's say you had to do it in a can.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no way I'm near the top, and all of a sudden there's pee everywhere.
And you got to clip it. You got to tighten up your kegels.
Big time, and that takes a little while sometimes when you really have to still go. Anyway, here was the statement by Amazon on an internal memo. Quote, "This evening, an associate discovered human feces in an Amazon bag that was returned to the station by a driver. This is the third occasion in the last 2 months when bags have been returned to the station with poop inside. We understand that that driver associates may have emergencies while on road, and especially during COVID, DAs have struggled to find bathrooms while delivering. Regardless, DAs cannot, all caps, must not return bags to station with poop inside."
Now, this is a giant corporation where,
arguably one of the world's largest.
where semantics are poured over. They had to come up with a word for feces. They went with poop. Amazon went with poop.
Yes. Well, they already put feces, and then they're like, you know what? We're going with poop twice more. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I never thought about that, but yeah, these Amazon drivers, where do they go to the bathroom?
How is poop not in the headline? I think it's because they love their little leaked wordplay.
Yeah.
But couldn't they be like Amazon memo drops, or something like that?
Amazon shits out a memo about drivers resorting to...
Totally.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, it's...
Amazon unloads memo. Oh, my God.
Amazon can't clean up rumors about...
Yeah, totally. Oh, my God. It's disgusting. I'm going to think... I used to, at the beginning of this, worry that, is there COVID on my Amazon deliveries? On those boxes? No.
Yeah.
COVID can't survive the driver feces that are all over it.
Well, our friend Matt Malloy drives across the country every summer because he's got a summer house in New York. And he will drive from L.A. to upstate New York in 3 days. which entails pissing in a lot of bottles. He has a gallon container that he pisses into while he drives.
I think there have been times he's made it with 2 nights on the road, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulls in on that 3rd night, I believe. Yeah, just with shit all over the car.
Yeah.
Well, wait, there are true. He rarely does it. He has one of the biggest hearts we know. He rarely does that trip without rescuing a dog that he finds at a filling station.
Oh, yeah. And there's a reason why the dog's at the filling station. He's an unlovable dog. He's an unworkable pet. He has rescued dogs that are missing half their hair, half their teeth. They have diarrhea. They bite. And then he fucking saves them. He's like the last resort for dogs.
One trip that took longer than he wanted, he rescued a dog. And then as he's driving down the road, he starts itching like crazy. He turns around. His whole car is full of fleas. He had to pull over and clean both. He had to delouse both the dog and the car. All right. We're moving on to Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Okay. Here we go. This was sent to us by a listener, Tom Marquardt. I don't know how you'd pronounce that last name. It's almost like a Marcotte, but with a D in it. Anyway, Pompano Beach. Chaos unfolded at a Pompano Beach park last week after a driver was accused of slamming her car into a woman and her 3-year-old grandson. The grandmother said, had I not picked him up, she would have ran completely over him and he would have been under the car. The driver said she went to the park. This is what she told authorities after being arrested. She said she went to the park to settle an argument with another woman and she got emotional. Quote, I was attempting to run the other woman over, but then I see someone put her out of the way.
What?
That's a very viable excuse. I was trying to run someone over, but not this poor grandmother and her grandkid.
I need lot more information here. I need to know what the dispute was with the other woman and
yeah, you're right. I don't think we
age.
got those. Despite what our listener last week said about Florida being forced to release more police, that I could not find that information. What do we think the argument was over?
It's Florida.
She got very emotional.
There was drugs involved. It was something to do with there was an ex-boyfriend. I think it's almost like a refrigerator magnet story. That's what Florida Man stories are. There's refrigerator magnets. One says meth, one says ex-husband, one says alligator, one says police, and you just mix them all up and you make a new story every week.
DUI.
Yep.
It's not as easy as it sounds though, because you got that little meth magnet, but then you also have the bath salts magnet. So it's like usually you have to choose one, but not all the time in Florida.
No, you can make a very long little Florida Man out of this. Now, Chris is saying fighting over their boyfriend/cousin. That's his joke, is that they're both a boyfriend and a cousin.
Are we sure it's a joke?
I don't know. Is it a joke, Chris? He's got to write yes or no.
Probably.
No. I think he's going to be embarrassed to write yes.
Cousin was kind, by the way.
He wrote 7 dots and then deleted it. I'm going to go with you meant that as a joke.
I think that's he doesn't have much more time. He has to get back to his violent chat rooms.
Yeah, 4chan. Hey, what's our horoscope this week, Mike?
Oh, Aries. We're bitches, but we're cool. All right, here's the horoscope. Things may be coming. It's always something with us. Things may be coming to a dramatic climax for you, Aries.
Hey now.
It may seem like everything is working against you. Take note that this is an excellent time to find balance and gain a much greater perspective on the issues in your life. If you're trying to figure out where your heart and brain are hiding, you should look, guess where? On the opposite side of the world.
Oh, during the pandemic. Perfect. Yeah.
They're over there discussing things together.
Oh, our hearts? and our brain are talking behind our back.
See, this is how I know horoscopes are completely bullshit. My heart has never sought counsel from my brain, ever. It does not want to know.
No, I think it's more that my brain doesn't listen to my heart anymore. I think the older you get, the more your brain just relies on itself, and that's why you petrify, and nothing means anything anymore.
Oh,
Good
boy,
night. Thanks for coming.
That's a big one. I like that.
But if I have to go to the opposite side of the world to figure it out, where is that? Thailand? I'll go to Thailand and figure things out for a week.
Yeah, what country is letting all these Aries hearts and brains in? It's just Aries. It's just Aries' problem. Everyone else's hearts and minds are domestic.
Right.
Also, once again, this horoscope, fully unaware there's a pandemic.
Yeah.
Hey, Aries, it might seem like everything is working against you. Oh, well, it's more than seem,
Yeah.
to be honest. All right. We going to entertainment?
Let's do entertainment. Everybody's favorite talk show's having a little trouble. The Ellen DeGeneres Show, a sturdy daytime hit, has seen a steep ratings decline since the host addressed accusations by former staff members that led to firings and an internal investigation. Viewers tuned in for the apology. This year's season opener had the highest ratings for an Ellen premiere in 4 years, and then they tuned out. Ellen has lost more than 1 million viewers since September, averaging 1.5 million over the last 6 months, down from 2.6 million the same period last year. It now finds itself uncomfortably close to shows hosted by Maury Povich and Jerry Springer's former security guard, Steve Wilkos. Welcome to the bottom, Ellen. Oh, that's such a shame.
Yeah, it's tough news. Just for, likability takes a hit. What can you say?
Do you think instead of dancing at the beginning of the episode, she should just crawl out on stage, go in the fetal position, and lay there while they play music from a Chinese funeral?
Yeah. Chinese funeral? Well, she's going to start pulling out the tricks to keep up with Maury and Steve. There's going to be two guys fighting to be the father of the baby. Chairs breaking all over the place.
Yeah. You're going to see you still get the big names like Ryan Gosling jumping up and down because he's not the father of Kim Kardashian's baby.
It should be celebrity paternity tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a niche there. I like this idea.
Well, I think if they're going to get the ratings back, I think if you and I came back on staff at that show, I think we could get the ratings back up. But we need full creative control. Ellen has to do whatever we tell her to do.
Totally, I think so.
Wet T-shirt contests.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there. On that show?
Yeah.
All right.
She's still the host, but it's going to be a different show.
Is Ellen wearing one?
Hell yeah. Ellen is very well endowed. Don't kid yourself.
Okay. Didn't want to go there, really. I'm already at a grandparents' house, and I'm surrounded by grandparents where I'm sitting right now, so I don't want to think about that.
Sometimes grandmothers have huge tits. My mother-in-law has a
rack
you froze. On her.
You're still frozen.
Sometimes they get bigger as they get older.
This is a tailspin we're not going to pull out.
Are you frozen or are you not moving?
Are you there, caller?
Mike froze.
Hotel Wi-Fi. You got the big suite, my man, but you didn't get the upgraded Wi-Fi.
I thought he was slow burning me on talking about my mother-in-law's tits.
I'll hold on.
But in fact, he is frozen on the screen.
I'm filling.
All right, we're going to have to take a break here.
You're back.
You're back.
Oh, there we go.
I was filling. Maybe we could use my my separate audio here.
I was filling also, so we'll see which one's better. I thought you were slow burning me on talking about my mother-in-law's tits.
Oh, Jesus. This is the first time I'm hearing of them.
Oh, I was just talking about how big they are.
Your mother-in-law's?
Yeah, they're nice.
Well, that's where Erin got them, right?
Yep.
So just listen. Just next time you grab Erin's boob, just think I'm grabbing my mother-in-law's boob.
One time she was unloading the dishwasher and she was braless and I saw down her shirt and I felt really bad that I didn't look away, but it's something about a man. You literally can't, it's like a magnet. You cannot pull your eyes away no matter whose tits they are.
Okay, a little weird that you're hiding in the dishwasher to get that glimpse. I guess there's something about a man that when you know there's a potential of a braless lean down, you're going to crawl inside a dishwasher and take a look.
Yeah, it's like a camera angle of a Coen Brothers movie. All right, we also got a letter in the entertainment section. Amy Wilson said, I thought you might be interested in the story of Loser Tversky, the gentleman.
I am. I don't even know anything about it.
Remember we were talking about high maintenance?
Oh,
and there
yes.
There was a Hasidic Jewish character who
Yes.
went out dancing. Well, apparently Loser was born into a Brooklyn Hasidic Jewish family, but left the community in his early 20s after years of abuse. He's one of the lead stories in a very interesting Netflix documentary called One of Us about members of the community who have left and are trying to make a life in the real world. You may have also seen him in Transparent.
All right. I mean, I like the idea of that One of Us documentary.
There's a lot of examinations of the Hasidic world. Is there a difference between Orthodox Jews and Hasidic Jews, or is that the same thing?
There's probably I imagine there's a lot of overlap, and then one is more of black hats. I don't know. There's probably an extra level. But you saw that movie that got a lot of acclaim about the true story about the girl who escaped?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think we both talked about I was pretty bored with it because they spent a lot of time on the surprising details, which as a New Yorker, you're not surprised by them. You know, we know what's going on in those sects and in those Orthodox communities, you know, in Brooklyn. And we know how, I guess surprising is the best word, surprising to people who are unaware of those conventions, you know?
Well, Chris Denman just posted in our Google Doc.
Google Doc?
The Hasidim differ from other Orthodox Jews in several ways. The core of Hasidim is enthusiasm and mysticism, and interest in inner transformative experience, connection with God and others. Hasidim is more hardcore, and that's why we need to do something about the problem of the Jews. What?
The solution? What is he talking about?
What?
One solution.
It seems like it went from Wikipedia to a 4chan statement there.
It's weird. All right. Yes, we get it. The swastika is older than Germany. It was originally a Gaelic symbol. But okay, we get it.
Yeah, we understand that the Jewish people ran the banking system for years and that they control wars. We get it.
Also, okay. All right. I mean, I didn't know this. Orthodox Knicks fans and the Hasids are Nets fans. All right. It's weird. I didn't know that difference. Like, they are more hardcore if they're Nets fans.
Hey, look, Mike, let's go around the world.
Oh, maybe we'll find our hearts and minds.
It's the international section. Suez Canal right now, which is the most vital trade artery in the world, has been blocked by a 1/4-mile long container ship, creating a traffic jam that's ensnared over 200 vessels and could take weeks to clear. I don't know if people understand what the Suez Canal means to international shipping. If you don't go through the Suez Canal, you have to go down around Africa, like around South Africa, instead of going through the Middle East. A prolonged closure of the key route between West and East could make costly delays and cause container shortages, port congestion, and 237 vessels, including oil tankers, dozens of container ships, were waiting at the canal, which handles about, ready for this, 12% of global trade. 12% of global trade will be shut down for weeks. And did you see the tanker that's caught in there? It's fucking mind-boggling. It's like 50 containers tall and a 1/4 mile long.
And they're like, how do we not, in trying to free it, how do we not capsize it is now one of the big issues.
You mean on purpose, capsizing?
No, they're trying not to because of
Oh.
all the stuff on board and everything.
Yeah.
But oh my God, imagine how many like cargo loads of fake Air Jordans coming from Asia
Yeah,
are
right.
stuck in that port right now.
Yeah, I need some lead-based baby cribs. Where the fuck is my lead-based baby crib?
You've seen documentaries though about how treacherous it is. That's the Cape of Good Hope, Cape Horn. I'm so geographically illiterate, I guess. When you go around that Cape of Africa, though, I'm going to call it that. It's just chaos. Like you, if you can avoid it, you don't want to go down around that.
No,
and
it's
remember
the
we
most
saw a documentary, The Sailing.
Yeah, right. About the female
Yeah.
sailors.
And I know that's sailboats and they're different than these and all that stuff, but still. And I read another thing that one of the huge problems is pirates
Yep.
when they
Somalian
go out
pirates.
around there.
Yeah, and the currents are so treacherous. You've got the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean colliding, and boats disappear all the time. It's insane.
Not the pirate boats.
Not the pirate
They know what they're
boats.
doing.
All right, let's do some sports.
Sporty,
All right.
sports.
The Miami Heat, formerly the Miami Heat, are expected to become the first U.S. professional sports team to have a venue named after a cryptocurrency exchange. So the
Wow.
it said they agreed to a 19-year partnership with the cryptocurrency exchange to allow the name of the Heat's home venue from American Airlines Arena to FTX Arena. FTX allows customers to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other forms of cryptocurrency, which is, I guess, look, wherever you got to get the money. And what's cool is the concession stand is going to change up a lot, Mike.
Oh,
Now-
it is?
Oh, yeah. Now it's going to include trafficked sex workers, black tar heroin, and you can put a hit on your wife, and large cokes.
And the terrorists are going to get all the corporate suites,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. And the insurrectionists also, because
Yeah.
that's how they've been funded.
Right. All of a sudden, nerds are going to start watching basketball.
Wow. Well, FTX is kind of a cool name.
Yeah.
Has that edgy X in it.
Yep.
FTX Arena. Here we are. FTX. Yeah, it seems to work, right? There's no weird things in there.
FTX.
You know, when we named our daughter Olivia, we named, and she was born in 2005, we named her middle name after Liz, my wife's aunt, who had passed away, and her name was May. So Olivia May Gibbons, great. So someone got her a backpack for like kindergarten and just did a monogram on it. It wasn't until I see her backpack and it says OMG. I'm like, okay, we stepped into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't even see it until she was 4.
All right, I want to get to science. Because this is a
Oh,
great
here we go
story.
then. All right.
At first, I thought this is some kind of a joke story, but it came from, I forget which major news source, like The Guardian or something. A young woman's menstrual cycle brought tears to her eyes, but unlike most period-related tears, hers were bright red tears of blood. When the
What?
25-year-old visited an emergency room with bloody tears oozing from both eyes, it was her second such episode in the past 2 months. Blood tears are a rare condition known as hemolacria. In both instances of bloody tears coincided with the onset of her period. Normal
She
menstruation
didn't put that together?
Normal menstruation can sometimes trigger cyclical bleeding outside the uterus, known as vicarious menstruation. The woman's crimson teardrops likely represented a highly unusual convergence of two conditions leading to period-triggered tears of blood.
Wow.
And
I
the
bet-
cool thing is she can also shit out her nose and spit piss. So she's just great at parties.
I bet she cut the line at the emergency room when she went in. By the way, what strain of COVID must they have assumed she had? Like,
Yeah.
they must have been like, gloves on. I mean, get her in a bubble.
Yeah. Can I get a tissue? Ma'am, would you like a tissue? No. Do you have a feminine napkin, though,
Yeah.
to wipe my tears?
Why do you have two giant pads taped to your face? By the way, this is true. Can you see this app, this pink app on my phone?
Moving it to the side a little bit. Other side. Flow.
It says Flow.
Yeah.
That is a menstruation app, and I got it so I could somehow see insane fights with the wife that made no sense to me coming. When that Flow, I would try to track her period as closely as possible, and any argument turned into, I'm sorry, that must feel awful. I'm sorry, you're right. I didn't tell you I might be late coming home like twice today, but you're right.
Great. That's
And now
great.
I've kept it for my daughters.
You got them both on there?
You can only do one, but I'm hoping they're pretty. Should I be talking about this? They're a little irregular. One of them is but I'm hoping they sync up and they do my work for me. I think you track one. I'm tracking one. Put it that way. I haven't even looked into it.
Well, and then when you negotiate custody, who gets who on what weekends, Flow, baby.
You're right.
You got
to
your
Flow.
calendar in one hand and the Flow app in the other.
Yeah, I come home a little later when the Flow gives me an alert.
Yeah, this would definitely help out if you're like, trying to meet women in a bar and someone's crying blood. Fucking move down the bar.
But it does get easier. I don't need the Flow app if it's like, what are you saying? Oh, golly. Wait, here's a tissue. You're right. I'm sorry again.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The Flow app is shitting in its pants right now. They're going to be put out of business.
Let's do some business, Mike.
Speaking of which, oh, look at this story.
This story comes in from our producer, Chris Denman. You want to read this one, Mike?
Yes, here we go. Jews, blacks, and Puerto Rican. No, wait, sorry. Shrimp tails allegedly found in cinnamon toast crunch. That was the headline. Jensen Karp, musician, producer, personality, and husband to Danielle Fishel. Is that her name? Fishel? The actress who played Topanga in Boy Meets World.
Oh, who can forget that?
All Greek to me, shared images on Twitter on Monday of what appear to be some shrimp tails and other most unbreakfast-worthy detritus. Isn't that, I always avoid that name, for garbage. Detritus, tinnitus, swimming around a package of cereal he bought from a Los Angeles area big box store. General Mills says it did not happen at their facility. They're testing the tails, but since going viral, now ex-girlfriends, ex-coworkers, and others are piling on. Is it ex-girlfriends? Am I reading this right?
I don't know.
And others are piling on, accusing Karp of being, oh, yes, it is. So people, ex-girlfriends and people who have worked with him before, it's normally EX, and others are piling on, accusing Karp of being manipulative and a thief of jokes.
Wait, is he a comedian?
He is if he's stealing jokes.
Huh.
But boy, they used this shrimp tail incident to dig into him on joke stealing. Huh.
Yeah, I don't see how the two are connected, but I got to say, if you're eating that shit cereal, there's worse things than shrimp tails in there. That's just garbage.
Yeah, those are shrimp tails for sure.
All right.
Maybe another good comedian found shrimp tails already, and he's just doing it himself.
Right, the old shrimp tail bit.
Yeah. No one will know. I'll do it on the road.
All right, great story, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah. Here we go. What's this?
Let's see. We've got
First tweet.
Jack Dorsey, the Twitter of CEO, has sold his first ever tweet published in 2006 as a non-fungible token, or NFT, for over $2.9 million.
Oh, my God.
An NFT is a digital asset that can include JPEGs, video clips, or tweets that run on blockchain, a digital ledger that verifies authenticity. So, in other words, this is something that is like Bitcoin. It is, its essence is spread among a blockchain, so it can't be replicated.
Okay.
So it was autographed by him, and Dorsey said on Twitter that he will convert the money made from the tweet into Bitcoin and donate it to the charity Give Directly, which helps those in Africa who live in poverty.
Wow.
Yes, Mr. Dorsey, how you get this money for us?
Is this an African who doesn't understand the concept of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, just try to picture him explaining to some African native how he came up with this money for them.
Why doesn't he help Africa get that ship out of the Red Sea there, and so the ships don't have to circle their continent?
Right.
Help them out.
Yeah.
There's probably food. I'm sure so many things are going bad on those, maybe.
Oh, God, yeah. Asian masseuses.
I was going to start with Thai coconuts, but okay.
Oh, I bet you there's human cargo on there. You shitting me?
They're probably, that's awful to think about.
I know.
But it's not hot between Egypt and Israel, like that area. I think it'll be fine.
I can't even laugh about it. Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
more business. What do we got? Oh, yeah. All right. So, God damn it. I haven't bought stocks yet, but that's good because I was going to short. And, of course, I don't know what's going on with this joke of a market, but it went up a lot.
It's swinging. I'll check the market in the morning, and it will be up 300 points. In the afternoon, it's down 200 points, and then it finishes out up $75. It's fucking insane.
That's why it's about to crap the bed. Get this, though. I had already talked about Olivia. Olivia wants to start learning about stocks. She's in it. And then 2 other freshmen from her high school joined it. And one of the kids, her friends, who's 15, who joined it, is like in 36th place. And he joined it like 4 days ago.
I saw Olivia in there. She right now has $115,000. She's
wow.
She's up $15,000. She's beating me.
Oh my God, and me.
I don't even know what your name is on there. What's your name on there?
I think it's Gibbons. I think it's what I signed up with or something. I don't know. I wasn't smart enough to find a funny tag.
Well, I'm down.
A funny handle.
I am down to what am I? I can't even find my number, but yeah. So I guess you're at 100,000. The winner right now, Nick Allen, who was in the lead last week, he is up to 223,000 from 100,000, and in last place is our old friend Fitter 111, who is up. He's up a few thousand. He's at 30,000 now.
All right.
So don't forget, if you want to join, go to Investopedia. Scroll about halfway down on the left-hand side. You'll see a fantasy investing league. Go in there and look up Sunday Paper Pod is the name of the group.
All righty.
I'm
doing it. This week, I am getting in. I'm putting all my money on a bet that probably will not work out. I don't know what it is yet.
Oh, you don't know what it is yet?
No.
Where are you going to get your tips from?
Oh, I have a few suspects. But
you're going to call Jim
listen,
Adrian up in Connecticut, aren't you?
Why would I do that?
I thought he was like Johnny Stock Market.
I don't think so. He probably is very smart about it and does just like sets it and forgets it by his indexes. No, I just, it's a house of cards, right? I mean, I have to bet against it.
Yeah, that's what you do, Mike.
That's what I've been saying for.
Now this market's going to stay hot for another 4 months, guaranteed. And then it's going to
I've been saying
crash.
it for 11 years, and it has to be right eventually. Wait, now, when is this over? Olivia was asking that.
July 4th.
That's a short window for me to do any damage. Okay.
If she's into you. Uh-oh, Mike froze again. Hopefully we don't lose the back.
Is he back?
Yeah, we're back. I'm just wondering. Okay, we're back. I hope that the recording of the video doesn't get lost with all these drops.
One of us is probably moving. Probably you. Did you keep moving?
I didn't do shit.
No, what happened to your Zoom?
It disappeared and then it came back.
So you didn't see you frozen?
No, the whole box disappeared of both of us in it.
I bet that's what's recorded. On my end, you were frozen and I was very entertaining.
Oh, good for you.
No, I wasn't that entertaining this time.
One of the letters we got was from a listener who, following up on us accusing John Wayne of being, in fact, a hog lover, was a photo of Mr. Wayne in a pair of short shorts with his bulge clearly to the left-hand side. He's got on, what do you call those kinds of shoes?
Espadrilles?
Yeah, wow, that makes you a little bit of a hog lover. You knew that!
I also lean to the left.
Espadrilles, which are like canvasy shoes with like fucking straw on the bottoms.
They're like with like rope bracelet type soles.
And he's got a little pocketbook. He looks, yeah, if you're European, maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that.
Maybe.
By the way, you know, there's things that you can get in trouble for being homophobic, but like accusing somebody of being gay seems like it's something that will rile some people because they'll say, well, what's wrong with being gay? Well, if you're portraying yourself as this manly man who kills Indians because they're evil, and you make tons of gay jokes and gay statements in your life, then we can call you out for being gay.
It's the very, very damaging hypocrite. I mean, I don't hate every preacher, but I will absolutely hate Falwell or any of the hypocrites who are condemning huge populations of people who have done nothing, and then they're doing it themselves.
Right.
It's the exact same thing. So, and I also just love imagining his reaction to me calling him gay.
Yeah. Which you will in heaven.
I'll get to see that?
Yep.
I don't think he'll get to heaven if he's gay. Did I just ruin this whole bit? I love those twists at the end when the viewers all stop watching and listening.
All right, let's get to the obituaries.
And that's all, folks.
Hold on, there's a piece of paper here next to my water bottle.
Very sadly, this past week, there was yet another in Colorado again. This seems to happen a lot in Colorado. There was
Pent
another
up demand.
mass shooting. 10 people were killed in a shooting at King Soopers grocery store in Boulder on Monday afternoon.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, it's always it never doesn't shake me up when these things happen. And so we thought for the obituaries this week, we would just read the names of the people that passed. Trelona Bartowiak was 49.
You started with that one?
Yeah, I know.
Just there's the different. God bless Trelona. I'm just talking about the difficulty of the name and how you read names. Go ahead.
Suzanne Fountain, who was 59. Terry Leiker, 51. Kevin Mahoney, 61. Lynn Murray, 62. Ricky Olds, 25. Nevin Stanisic, 23. Denny Stong, 20. And an officer named Eric Talley, who was father of 7, who was the first on the scene to the shooting. And Jody Waters, 65. So,
God.
yeah, tragic. And
I'm reading about, you jotted down some notes about kind of what they were doing, all that. But that Terry Leiker was 51. She had been an employee at that store for 30 years.
wow, Jesus.
Now, I couldn't even. So I saw the headlines. I didn't read into it. I did read a headline that they haven't even figured out what this shooter's thinking was. Have they?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked that deep into the. I try to avoid reading about the shooter because I almost feel like I don't want to make this guy famous, and I don't want to remember him. I want to remember the victims when these things happen.
That's very solid.
Yeah, and it's just I saw this video somebody put up of a mass shooter running into a store, but he had an old musket, and it was a sketch showing what would happen if you ran into a store with a single-shot musket and how you would shoot once, everybody would run while you took 2 minutes to load another ball in there. And, it really makes the point that, like, if this is really for home invasion protection or hunting, you don't need 65 bullets a second. It's unnecessary.
The hunting, rationale is just crazy. Like you're not a hunter if it's a fully automatic, whatever.
Right.
We'll get letters, of course.
Send us some letters. We welcome them. Let's open up the discourse. All right, let's cheer up, Mike. We always want to cheer up after the obituaries. Let's do the Sunday funnies, starting off with everybody's favorite husband, Hagar the Horrible. Not only a rapist and a marauder, but one of the worst husbands in the medieval times.
And should be noted, he did it all without a gun.
That's right.
So if inflicting damage and pain and ruining lives and killing is, if you think you need an amendment to protect your right for a gun, which will facilitate that, you are wrong. You are wrong.
No, these guys, you look at the Huns, you look at these people, they went through continents and destroyed people. You can still do it. You just got to focus and follow through.
Yeah.
So Helga is standing at the fence talking to her neighbor, and she says, Hagar worries that I spend too much time scrubbing floors, and he doesn't want me to develop knee problems. And his neighbor says, did he hire you a maid? Helga says, no, he bought me knee pads.
I would think this was a sly sexual move on Hagar's, but he's getting so much strange on his conquest that I don't think so. I think it's for cleaning. I actually think it's legit cleaning.
I know. There's one thing that is it considered cheating if you are a Hagar the Horrible? If you are a Neanderthal? You're not a Neanderthal. He's a Viking. If you rape on the road, is that cheating on your wife, or is that part of the job description?
All right, here's a very uncomfortable question, which you basically just asked, but it's awful. Is non-consensual sex cheating?
Right.
I mean, you've gone so far above and beyond. You're a criminal who should be locked away. I guess it's also cheating.
Well, you see a lot of wives stay with their husbands when they get accused of rape or
You
sexual
do.
harassment.
Yeah,
Maybe
do.
they look at it as, look, this is his dysfunction. This wasn't about me. And they understand. What great wives they are.
By the way, what's the latest on Cuomo? Speaking of that.
They're piling on. But the more
Some of
recent
them
ones,
aren't
the
the
more recent
strongest
ones are like,
cases.
yeah, he touched the small of my back during a photo op. It's like, where are you supposed to put your hand?
God, I am not taking a side. I literally have not read the story. But I did see one woman, and the complaint was that he stared at a necklace that was in her cleavage.
Yeah. You mean the necklace that she put in her cleavage?
Well, I mean, your mother-in-law didn't even have a necklace, and you're
That's right.
staring right at the cleavage
That's
through
right.
a fucking dishwasher.
Yep. Yeah, let me help you with the spoons. The Lockhorns, my favorite. Leroy is sitting at the table with his wife, and they are praying before dinner. And he says, any chance we can stretch out our moment of silence to, I don't know, an hour or so?
I like it. I like him.
And the next one, they are in group therapy, marriage counseling. And the counselor is saying, quote, "I want to hear your problems, Mrs. Lockhorn, not Harry and Megan's."
Look at that. That is
Staying
some
current.
topical stuff.
Speaking of topical, Family Circus, always
All
in
right.
the zeitgeist.
Should we explain how this got here? I am scrolling down to it. I have never even laid eyes on it.
I picked it out for Mike this week because he was on a red eye. Did a little extra on the script this
I'm
week.
a little insane right now, a little tired. Here we go. I'm going down. We got, okay. Oh, you know what? I am not going to read it. I'm just going to look at the picture
Uh-huh.
and get nowhere because I'm exhausted. Okay, I just see the picture. And it's the chunky daughter whose hair's back in a pigtail, and she's right in the face screaming at the little chunky boy who's kind of defiant. His face is defiant. His hands are like clasped in front of him, and he's like looking up at her with his eyes closed. And what could she be yelling at him?
She could be yelling, "Why did the artist only use one color on both our hair?" How
It is
fucking lazy is that?
It is the exact same color. I don't know. It's probably something bad about being in the bathroom too long, or that maybe that conspicuous pajama onesie that he's wearing. No, I will not help you unbutton your poop chute. I don't know what she's yelling.
Far better than what's there. Now read what's there, Mike.
You didn't brush your teeth. I can't smell any toothpaste. Oh my God. Well, not even that it's bad breath?
Nope. Just a
What?
very linear, literal thing that a person would say to another person without what you would call comedy. No
None.
twist, no turn.
Oh my, all right. Wow. Okay.
She's going to die an old maid. But I want to see that cartoon. I want to see these kids as adults, all fucking loveless, spoiled, and self-satisfied. Drunks.
And wait, how did that happen? Because they have no humor?
They're not going to be able to make friends because they don't get jokes, they don't make jokes.
Yeah.
And
they're
yet they think they're
programmed
funny.
by these keens. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. What's the last comic we usually do?
Let's do a little Blondie.
All right.
Oh, God, Dagwood. Sitting on the couch in this horrible lemon-colored sweater that's and he's kicking back. He's got the remote. Of course. Thing about Blondie is she's always at the fucking sink. He's always laying on the couch. They're on the couch together. Okay, who's got the remote? Of course, fucking dickhead, who's just the control freak. And now Blondie's sitting there. She's got on like a watermelon-colored top.
I've never seen her in slacks.
No, she wears slacks sometimes.
Oh, but look at that sweater.
Yeah, the sweater's nice, but the slacks bother me. I want to see those fucking pegs. She says, "Honey, why don't we turn off the TV for a change and just talk about our day?" And Dagwood says, "Now you're talking." And they turn off the TV, and there's a very awkward moment of silence in the second frame. Third frame, he's got the remote on. He turns the TV back on, and she says, "I suppose it wouldn't hurt to have a little background noise while we talk." Dagwood says, "Yep, sounds good." You're in a fucking dead marriage, Dagwood. You are. It's like you're sitting in a Porsche and you're afraid to fucking turn the ignition on and drive the goddamn thing.
Yes, and I'm almost done. All right. It's uplifting scene here. We're getting rid of dead person stuff. First of all, how about talking about her black lipstick?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I like that.
What's up with that?
She's getting a little
There, now I
goth.
think I'm talking about her black. Okay, this is a minefield.
She is going out at night. She forgot to take off the makeup from when she went to fucking Rawhide last night.
Some goth club, yeah.
Yep. And and who would blame her? Who would ever blame her? Knowing this guy
right.
with his yellow fucking sweater. May he die.
That's getting right to it. Hey, we didn't talk about things we watched this week. Do you want to do there's one thing I watched.
Yeah,
it's
what'd you
on
watch?
Apple TV. It's weird. It's called Calls. Have you heard about it?
No.
So you turn on the show and there's like static kind of with lines, like radio frequency kind of, and then all of a sudden you see like a name come up like Steven, and you hear a phone ringing. And you see the phone, like the sound line of the phone ringing. Then like whatever, Charlotte's name appears, and Charlotte picks up, "Hey honey, how are you? Sorry I'm running late." And it's this whole series is audio of phone calls and phone messages.
There's no visual? Just that?
There's a very, I'm not saying it's good, but I was impressed with that they were able to do so much, and an artist did very good job of like all of a sudden there'd be call waiting, and the axes turn this way, and then someone's on the right, and then a pilot is calling his kids about when he's going to land and see them, and it's this what would you call it? This, I guess, concept, but this means of telling Twilight Zone-like stories.
Wow. That sounds pretty cool. So you could actually listen to it instead of watch it if you wanted to.
Yet, you're kind of riveted visually, I get riveted. People watch this podcast. Why would you watch this? So what do I know? But I don't know. They do enough to keep you watching.
Yeah.
But yes, you 100% could listen.
By the way, if you want to watch, we're on YouTube. Just look under Greg Fitzsimmons' channel on YouTube. Mike, listen, I'm going to let you go. You got people waiting to get in that room and go through artifacts.
Yes.
I hope you get through these next couple days, and it's a time that you and your family feel some nice memories about Cynthia. And
Thank
support your
you.
dad
And I was
all that.
listen, it helped also. It's not just about me. You shared about family and looking at your mother-in-law's boobs.
Yeah, I think
So that made me feel less alone.
Yeah, maybe you'll find some photos of her. Who knows?
I thought you only saw your mother-in-law's boobs when she texted you. I didn't know it was live.
Well, her closet's got these slats in them, so I always like staying over. She's great host.
We got slats. We got slats.
There we go. All right, man.
All righty.
Thanks as always to Midcoast Media, Beth Hoops, Chris Denman, who do a fine job every week. And if you're looking for support for your podcast or even just your social media, they do a terrific job. Mike, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back in LA. When are you back? On Monday?
Tuesday.
Okay, we'll see you back then.
Sounds good. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
It's the Sunday Papers Podcast with Greg Fitzsimmons and my girl Gibbons. The next thing you know, another